when we don't like sit across from each other and have human to human conversations, like we can kind of lose touch of like the humanity behind all of it. And so like at the end of the day, what do we want? We want to live a meaningful life. We want our children to be healthy and happy. And I would never feed your kids anything I wouldn't feed mine. In fact, like we eat the animal that we would like don't feel comfortable sending to you. That's the animal that we harvest and keep for ourselves. And we all just want to live a meaningful life and for the people we love to be healthy and happy, or to be able to support them the best we can.
Welcome to the Mindful Humanship podcast with Amy Monea
and Angie Payne. Is it possible that an animal, horses, can lead us to be mindfully human?
Join us as we discuss the wisdom of the horse and the impact they can have on our everyday lives.
Our conversations are guided between the reins of connection and mental health. Welcome to episode number 10 of Mindful Humanship. I'm Angie Payne.
I'm Amy Monea, and this is our guest,
Brett Monea.
Brett Monea. So we decided today to invite who I call the boss. His name is Brett Monea, but I call him the boss. He and Amy own the ranch that I work on and that I've had the privilege to work here and become friends with these two for the past almost 11 years. You've had to put up with me for 11 years, Brett.
It's a long time.
It's a long time. If I step out of line, I'm usually like, you better be careful because your horse will be running up the road and the gates will be locked.
And it'll just be tied at the end of the driveway.
Yeah. So
the shut gate.
So I try my best to behave myself. But what we thought we'd do is interview Brett. Brett has like really supported the work that Amy and I do at the ranch. He is the one that wrote the foreword in our book, Mindful Humanship. And so he has a little bit of a unique perspective on the work that we do. Also, I kind of want to touch on a little bit of like farmer mental health, and also, if you're comfortable with it, talking about like rodeo mental health as well. So that's kind of where we're going to go today. So you want to tell our guests a little bit about who you are and what you do?
I grew up west of Wetaskiwin, Alberta, on a seed stock farm, which raises purebred animals for either purebred breeders or commercial calf breeders. Grew up team roping, then eventually became a rodeo bullfighter, went to school in 2001. And I've been pursuing that ever since. So that's a long time. That's about 25 years. I've been in the rodeo industry, in the PBR, Professional Bull Riders, kind of part of that association. Amy and I, we moved here to Rafter 7 Ranch and Wellness Center 2015.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You got it.
And we run a cow-calf operation, about 100 head, give or take. Got some mini cows that I'm pretty proud of. Then our friend Angie here, she just kind of knocked on her door and hasn't left. I've been trying to get her to leave, but she just take a bad rat. I'm joking.
Love me. Admit to these people that you love me, even though I annoy the shit out of you.
We have lots of laughs when we go on our rants. So to me, that's kind of involved with rodeo, agriculture. I'm a journeyman, carpenter when I have time. A few years ago I had time, but I don't have time any of that now.
You might.
Well, maybe, perhaps, in the future.
Someday, the near future.
You know that story how like the shoemaker's children have like their shoes are terrible? So I'm married to a journeyman carpenter. We have shingles on our stuff is at the bottom of the list. So we need shingles fixed on our roof. We have a deck that needs to be replaced, all that kind of stuff. So we're getting a really healthy list when you do get time of all the stuff that we can do.
Time that I'm dealing with an injury in May 9th. I got in a wreck at a PBR in Camrose, and I both stepped on my ribs and it deflected to my ass and tore a strip out of it. So I've been mending ever since.
ass jokes are flying free
Yeah.
now, aren't they?
Yeah, get pretty cheeky, aren't you?
How's your second crack? That's what the kids always say. How's your second crack, Dad?
Yeah.
So for those out there that might watch this that aren't rural people or rodeo people, do you want to tell them like what a rodeo bullfighter is? Because I think that a lot of people believe that that's like the rodeo clown that jumps out of the barrels with the funny faces, and but that's not what you do, right? Because you're not that funny.
No, I'm not funny at all.
Yeah.
No, rodeo bullfighter, and I'm sure whoever edits this video can probably put clips of what I do in here. That'd be kind of cool.
Okay.
When you hear bullfighter, people always go to matadors in Spain or Mexico that kill the bull. That's not what we do in North America. It's during the bull riding event. Our job is to, once the bull rider either dismounts or gets bucked off, is to run distraction, give that bull rider an opportunity to get to safety, and hopefully that bull will chase us instead of him. And working together with another bullfighter, we can do that sometimes safely, and sometimes
You get your ass ripped apart.
get your ass ripped apart. Yeah,
So that's fun.
yeah.
That sounds like a great.
That's bull riding.
That's bull riding. And it sounds like just like a bunch of hard-headed, tough guys running in circles. But that's not it. There's a lot of like psychology, bovine psychology, stuff that goes into it, teamwork, first responder type things, like running into the wreck when everyone else is running away, and mastering those self-preservation instincts to be able to stay active and moving. So yeah, it's been kind of neat having a front row seat. Kind of neat. That's a very simple way to say
Yeah, tell how neat it was last year. Yeah.
Right.
How many emergency visits did you have in the last
So
year? Amy?
I've been married to Brett for like ever, not forever, a long time.
Did like forever.
I can't remember how long. But for the majority of our marriage, or the time we've been together, he has had 0 emergency room visits where it was like to fix the tip of his finger, like stuff that he would just like get bandaged up and go right back into it. And over the last year, there have been 4 ER visits and 1 hospitalization. The most recent one was a hospitalization with a major surgery. So that has kind of not shifted, but this last year, it's just been a lot harder than it has been. So I think like being really lucky that we got to enjoy it as a family too for so long. But the reality of how dangerous this profession has been front and center. And yeah, super proud of you for persevering and doing all this stuff. But yeah, it's been a lot of deep conversations and a lot of gut check times, and yeah.
In bull riding, it's not if, it's when and how bad. And I remember one time I broke my leg just before the Calgary Stampede. I was going to fight all 10 days at Calgary. And I went to a Cody Snyder bull busting deal at the Agrium in Calgary, and protecting a bull rider, Ty Posabon, late Ty Posabon. And I got stepped on, broke my leg down low. And I was devastated. I'm like, man, this is terrible. I can't go to Ponoka. Can't go to Calgary. I phoned Cody to turn out, and not expecting sympathy, but like, oh yeah, Brett, that sucked. And all he said was, that's bull riding. And honestly, that put it in perspective for me. Like, it's bull riding. So you got to be able to, just when you're flying high, the sport can humble you and put you back down low and figure out how badly you want it. And that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now is how badly do I want to come back? So we'll see.
So I have watched this family, as I said in the beginning, for the past 11 years. I had no idea what a rodeo bullfighter did either. And then when Brett explained it to me, I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Why would you do that? But he loves it. And I grew to understand that over the years. So not only does he do that, but in April, Brett and Amy calve out all of these cows. They also have, a lot of land. They seed, they do like all the farming things, which I didn't understand. And, when I guess what I want to say is I've seen like an evolution of how you move through all of the things that you do. At first, I thought he's pretty chippy, and so am I. So that's probably why we bonded at the beginning.
We call that trauma bonding.
Maybe.
Fight with each other. It's great.
We might have.
So happy. Which is great because I don't like to fight or be chippy. So you guys do that.
So,
You guys
so we
do
get
that.
to be
That's
chippy
great.
together. But I've also seen a change every year in the way you move through, like the pretty big intensity of the work you do, plus calving out all these, like I have no idea, but they don't sleep for the whole month really because you're checking cows and all that. We have a camera now, so it's not as bad, but still like it's a 24/7 kind of job.
I would compare it to like postpartum after you have a baby. Like that's what it feels like. You're having 100 babies. You're not pushing them out, but you're midwifing them out.
Yeah. And like worried about them. So Brett, what would you say has been like helpful for you as you have shifted maybe your mindset? Is that what it is? Or like how have you come to a place where like it looked like the both of you moved through calving a little bit less intense this year? Would that be right? Or is that just my imagination?
To be your imagination.
Could you? It's what I saw from the outside. So
I think during calving time, it's having a good partner, calving, good community around us is very helpful. Can I say get easier? No, I just gotta try to figure out how to simplify my life a little bit. Because maybe my quiet time would be after the finals, usually November. So I got December, January. Well, we start feeding cows. Then this year we had a group of heifers come in. My partner bought some young heifers. They started calving like February. So it's been busy, kind of nonstop. And actually this time of year I dislike more than any because, calving's done, but you got to now keep calves alive. Or you got some late calvers that should have been culled, but we kept them because of cattle prices. Either they can calve out in the pasture at home at the ranch. So we're still dealing with them. Then you got bad weather comes in, then we're trying to navigate that when scours gets in the herd, trying to keep calves alive. Amy and I have 2 kids we need to take care of with school and band concerts and 4-H. So we're dealing with that. Then all of a sudden, seeds has to get into the ground. We need to start planning with that. Cows need to get to pasture. We got to start navigating what cows go with what pasture to what bulls, getting up, checking fence. Like it's just kind of nonstop.
And normally, you would have a rodeo every weekend, anywhere from like 3 days to 5 days. So Brett would be home for 4 days and he would be like the Tasmanian devil, just like zoom, 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 doing everything. And then he'd be gone. Then the kids and I, with the help of people around, would try to do all those things, keep everybody alive and fed and all that kind of stuff in between, and while running a business and trying to keep the kids in school and up with their orthodontist appointments and all that kind of stuff. So that's normally what it looks like with Brett being home. It's different.
Because you also have a badass now. So
So really I was home. I couldn't drive for the first. Well, I just finally, so May 9th, last week I seen the doctor. He said you can finally start sitting on your right cheek and start driving slowly. So I've been doing that, trying to take it as easy as I can in a busy time.
Brett does not take it easy. That's the thing.
For insurance purposes, I take it easy. I've been taking it time.
You have done really well, I would say.
Yeah, like relatively, you've been following the doctor's orders as close as you can. And then you are definitely better at saying like, I have to sit down. And instead of feeling guilty if I'm like still doing dishes or whatever, like you're like, I have to sit down. I am not okay. Okay, good.
Because in reality, come May 9th, my rodeo schedule would have been Camrose. That's where I got hurt. Then would have flown to Cloverdale for the long weekend. Then when I got home for a few days, then I would have been in Red Deer.
Grand Prairie.
Then I would have been in Grand Prairie for almost a week. Then I'm home for a couple, maybe that weekend. I would have been home. Then I would have been gone to Innisfail, right to Wainwright, right to Pinoka. Then finally after Pinoka Stampede, I'd have a little bit of a break before Kelowna PBR. So yeah, it's a hectic schedule. And like I say, when I did get home, I'd try to ram everything as fast as I could because the work has to get done. Nobody's doing it for us. other than, like I say, I got neighbors that come help put seed in the ground. We had a 4-H steer die, for example. Community, I'm sure we're big on community here. Neighbors, when we had a wreck with that, uh, text the neighbor or phone the neighbor, we're in a panic, come help us. They were here within seconds helping us. And when I was in the hospital, neighbors came and my brother helped feed cows for a day. My nephew's been here.
My
sister, everybody's been helping,
just
trying to
handling horses and all.
I try to help, but of course, I don't know anything about farming, can't drive a tractor, can't even get out of a tractor.
No,
So,
no, she cannot.
I'm not allowed.
You want to
True
keep her in the space, just put her in the tractor.
I'm not allowed to help when it comes to like the actual farming stuff, but I try to do what I can.
When Angie's in a timeout, we lock her in the tractor because she can't figure out how to get out.
Can't get out of it. So, because we focus a lot on mental health here at the ranch, how do you take care of your mental health, Brett, when, things like this most recent injury and the busyness of the season? How have you sort of coped with your mental health? How have you taken care of yourself mentally?
Working out definitely helps with my mental health. The better I feel physically, what do you call it? Transcends into mentally. Is that the right word? Yeah,
Sure.
Let's use it.
That's
a big word.
That's a good word. Transcends.
Then honestly,
which you haven't been able to do these last, that's been taken away from you too. So how have you taken care of your mental health?
Because you haven't been able to work out with your arse.
I haven't been able to actually taking the time for me, kind of taking a break. I like watching movies to shut down the world, all the moving parts to silence that. I like taking a break that way. Usually rodeo has never worked for me. So the non-sleep I had from the ranching, from calving to everything, I'd go to rodeo. Well, it seems bad. Well, I'd sleep in the hotel and work out and sleep and eat and fight bulls for maybe, but bull riding 2.5 hours, or rodeo, it's 20 minutes. Go back, I'd catch up on sleep on the road so I could get home and carry on with things, the busyness of running a ranch. So that's kind of how I did that. But without that now, it's having a mental health therapist as a partner definitely helps with my mental health. I've seen Angie in the past when I'm hard coping with things. I'll go see Angie. I've seen her in the round pen with a horse. We've done some sound bowl therapy in the office here. When things get bad.
I lick him on the forehead if I have to.
Yeah. Then honestly, when things get bad, say calves are dying, or I had to put a cow down the other day, like when it gets really hard, I don't know. I talk to other ranchers and we share our stories and realize I'm not alone. And to me, that's a huge one. I know there's a big thing about rural mental health right now. How do we, what are the stats? Amy and Angie, you guys know the stats of rural mental health and how?
I can't remember, but it's 35% deal with high anxiety. So the normal stats are 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 by the WHO. So it was 1 in 5, and then as soon as COVID hit, it changed to 1 in 4, so it jumped by 5% immediately. But ranchers, it's much higher. People in agriculture, it's much higher. And when they measured for high levels of stress, some of the research out of the University of Guelph, most ranchers experience most people in agriculture experience high levels of stress and are living with high levels of stress. And then the isolation, real isolation and perceived isolation with social or cultural differences between urban and rural people, or beliefs or assumptions, contributes to a feeling of isolation as well. So that is a big deal. And then the research also shows it's bad for people in ag as a total, and then it's even worse for women in agriculture. But it's not good. We are not okay.
So as an urban person, I've had horses my entire life, but I've always boarded them out. And so I would go ride my horse and leave. And, that was fun. And then when I moved here, I board my horse, but I also work here. And somehow I got involved in just asking questions because I was like, what the actual F is going on here? Because, as an urban person, you go to work, and when you're done, typically you go home and you don't think about it much until you go back to work the next day. And so I was like watching these two people, and I'm like, what is going on here? Why are you doing this? Number one, that was my first question, was why on earth are you doing this? Because I'm not a person that wants to fill my day with as much as I can fit into it, because it freaks me out and it stresses me out. And so that is their life. Like, and it's not even that you want to fit as much in, it's that you have to fit as much in a day. And so for me, that stresses me out. I remember one day I went on a road trip. I've been on a couple road trips, but it's like, oh, we're here anyway. Let's go do this. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to put in something else. We have like half an hour. We're going to, slam something else in here to get done. So like, if that's like actually makes my heart pump, and I get really stressed out and I get really anxious about it. How do you fit it in? How do you do it all without like just dropping?
I guess awakening for me, well, like I say, I could do it at home when rodeo was a relief. Like I say, I could catch up on rest. When I got hurt, because I didn't even know I ripped my ass open, my ribs hurt the most. And Canadian professional sports medicine team, they're there with the paramedics, and they're, Brett, are you okay? What's wrong? And I'm leaning on the fence, and they're like, your ass is bleeding. I'm like, what? My ass is bleeding. Look at my cleats, and sure enough, blood's there.
And a chunk of fat, you said.
And a chunk of fat on my cleat. But all I told sports medicine, Brooke from sports medicine, I just told her, I'm just tired. I just want to sleep. Like, so realizing, man, I was pretty burnt out as well. Because like I say, ranching and farming, nobody's parenting, nobody's going to do it for you. Like, this lifestyle is not for everybody, and I don't blame them, but you got to do the work, or the seed doesn't get in, or if you're not checking your cows during calving, calves are dying. And I don't like seeing animal welfare point of view. I don't like seeing calves die anyway. But at the end, when we sell them, well, calves are going to be worth, well, last year, I say we averaged $3,600 a calf. Well, that's $3,600 we're not making at the end of the year for every calf you lose. And so those are kind of the stresses. Plus, I'm kind of going on a rant here, but we're not guaranteed a price either. We could do all this work, say, oh, the war in Iran's why the cost of living is so much. Yeah, it could be true. It could be just policies, perhaps. I'm not getting political right now.
Sounds like you are.
That's what he and I do a lot.
See, that's the way I see it. But something could happen where, $3,600 we got last year, this year it could be less.
Well, there's the New World's screwworm is a parasite that is causing a lot of fear and really affecting people's livelihoods instantly overnight. Drought affects livelihoods. Like there's a lot that happens. Extreme weather. So yeah, there's so much out of control for people in agriculture. Yes. It's like trying to ride a tidal wave and stay in the middle of it, and you don't know it. Are there sharks? Like, what's happening? What's going to happen? But I find like the moments where we're at the top, where like even just watching calves play this morning, like that's a break, and that reminds me why, even if it's just 10 seconds watching some calves play, is like that's a filler for me.
Yeah. And like I say, with the stress, there's lots of joy. For me, like calving time, watching a new mother lick her calf, the calf gets up, like these calves are up within 5 minutes trying to drink already. Then just nature that way is kind of pretty amazing to me to see that. When we get rain, another thing out of control is our weather. And finally we got rain because it was looking terrible for pastures. Pastures are finally, June 9th right now? Just starting to take off, like I say, just starting to get cows, and that's out of our control. If we didn't get that rain, oh my gosh, everybody would have been in a terrible situation, especially around our area, mostly Alberta. And like I say, things are such out of our control. It's very stressful. We'll put it that way. Very stressful. Things are out of control.
And I kind of like, I'm coming from an urban perspective. So any urban people that are watching, I want to say, like, when you go to the grocery store and buy your food, the judging farmers has to stop. So you hear people that go to the grocery store and have no idea where their food comes from, but what they do know, or what they think they know, is that, you know, farmers are out there making millions of dollars and they don't care about their animals, and they send them, and then,
Or the environment.
They don't care about any of that. But the truth is that, like, I've seen Brett do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on a cow. So how do you guys square that? Because the truth is, you are raising them to slaughter, to feed people, all people, and we get to benefit from that. But how do you square that? Because I know I've watched the care that you actually do take in your animals. You guys know every single one of them. That's number da-da-da, and that came from there, and that had this baby last year, like, you know your animals. So how do you square it? Like, if you're talking to an urban person that has a judgment about that you just raise these animals to kill them to make all this money.
As they're enjoying a steak.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, or the ground beef. Oh, we need some ground beef. And what do you mean? How do you
square that part of, like, caring so much for your animals and then putting them on a liner and knowing that they're going to slaughter? Obviously, it sounds like you know they're going to feed people, which is why you do it, it sounds like.
And why
do you do it?
Knowing that beef is one of the most essential proteins people can get on this planet. So there's a need for that. If we can be a steward of the land and these animals, and knowing that when these cows are on our place, we take care of them the best possible way we can, and knowing low stress, really working on that. So when they're here, they have, I like to say, a pretty good life. And till the end of the life, like, say, once they leave here, that's not on me. I know the whole system keeps on working better to get better, low stress. When they get the kill plants, you know, they're not going there to get killed. It's just they run in the chute and they get stunned, or however they euthanize them, and they go in. But yeah, knowing that we're raising healthy animals to hopefully have healthy people, it makes it worthwhile. And for me, a lot of it's, I was raised around cattle. I love cows. They're my favorite animal. And seeing our kids in 4-H actively showing cattle, raising cattle. And it's, you know, at a 4-H deal, after all the kids sell their cows and they're all crying in the back, because you do get a relationship with these animals. They all have personalities. It's hard, but that's life. And you live and die. And I think people forget that, like, at the end of this so-called life, it's death. And if people can't handle that, guess what? You're going to fucking die. No shit.
All right. A slam down by Brett Monea.
Yeah. But I think some people, but if you're not raised around it or don't understand it, when there's a family death member, it floors a lot of people because they've never been around it. So to me, being exposed and exposing my kids, so if something does happen, you can grieve, you can mourn. Yeah, but maybe you can move through it quickly. And because guess what? When we've all had loved ones die, and does the world stop turning? No, it fucking keeps going. Life doesn't stop for nobody.
I want to, on that note, Brett, I want to say, like, it's been a real, like, eye-opening experience for me to be on this land, to be able to be part of what you guys do in any way I can. Like, I try to help out where I can. But to say to people that have not been on a farm, not had the opportunity to talk to a farmer, to not have a better understanding of the industry. All industries have their yuck, right?
Yeah.
Like oil and gas industry, people have their judgments about that, and fair, like we all have a right to do that. But I would encourage somebody to, make a phone call Brett, because if you want to come out and you want to find out more about what they do, why they do it, I think you'd be more than happy to do that, right? We're really, something that's really important to us here is bridging that gap between urban and rural so that there's not so much isolation on your side, and also more understanding on the urban side. That, what I've discovered is that we're not really that far apart. It's just a matter of misconceptions or misunderstandings of what we hear, and then we just believe that that's the case, when it may be, but maybe it's not. And the only way we get to find out is by talking to somebody that knows. This guy knows so much about farming, so much about cattle, so much about the land. And for the most part, you're pretty patient about teaching and talking about it most of the time. Call Brett, go to our website, rafterhugh7.ca.
And
I'd be happy to.
Yeah, and I think, sorry to interrupt, but the government, who runs open farm days?
So yeah, in August, there's a provincial-wide program in Alberta called Alberta Open Farm Days, where farmers like us on our farm can sign up and open the doors to the public. So you can book tours and go to all different kinds of farms. Like we're on there for the Saturday. There are farms, like you can go to like a bee farm or like a honey farm or a wool farm or like anything. And it's all over the province. So you get to like look farmers in the eyes and ask them questions, because even though there is so much judgment, there is still a lot of trust in farmers when you look at it from a research perspective. But when we don't like sit across from each other and have human to human conversations, we can kind of lose touch of like the humanity behind all of it. And so we talk about that point you said a lot at our house, like how we're not that different. Like at the end of the day, what do we want? We want to live a meaningful life. We want our children to be healthy and happy. And I would never feed your kids anything I wouldn't feed mine. In fact, like we eat the animal that we would don't feel comfortable sending to you. That's the animal that we harvest and keep for ourselves.
The only problem is there's no tenderloin in the Mona's beef.
No, for some reason.
So for some reason, there's never any tenderloin in the freezer. So I don't understand that.
Lots in my freezer.
The neighbor down the road, she told me, come to my farm because we have tenderloins.
It's weird. That's weird. Very weird.
But yeah, I think that's really important piece of the humanity behind it. And we all just want to live a meaningful life, and for the people we love to be healthy and happy, or to be able to support them the best we can. So.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed what I was going to touch on, is like values. Like what I value for my family is probably what most people value in the urban population. Yeah, you just said it all. So you touched on it.
And Open Farm Days is so fun because we get to meet the coolest people and like all different types of people who are curious about the farm and cows and all that kind of stuff. And I came for the mini cows, but I learned so much about everything else. So we get to talk about equine therapy and all the stuff we do here.
I do get to show off my miniature calves because I am a cattle baron now and own half of some.
But for some reason, she doesn't like. Last year, I think you did some night checks, didn't you? Stay with
having night checks.
I didn't do any night checks.
She did like 1 or 2 where she slept on the couch in the barn and just like swap up, and out she goes.
I went to Mexico instead, so
yeah, we're in calving time. Yeah.
So I'm not. Sometimes I'm a really good farmer in training, and other times I'm not. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the way, and I'm probably not, but that's my own shit to deal with. But
it is kind of fun having a farmer in training or a urbanite around, because it like keeps things fresh. Like, why do you do that? What is this about? And it slows us down to think about like, why do we actually do that? Or what's the purpose of this process? Or like through experience, sometimes you don't talk or think about what you do and why you do it. So that part, and it really kind of, I think, invigorates us again, like Open Farm Days, talking to people and being excited and proud of the farm and the work that we do and the community that we're a part of.
Yeah. Because to experience agriculture urban population, unless you're born on a farm or have friends that live on a farm, very little people get to experience it. And to me, I'm like, you can watch videos all about agriculture, but until you actually get to a place and experience cattle hands-on or the land, it's hard to have appreciation or fall in love with it. And that's what one of our passions is. And Angie mentioned earlier is like bridging that urban rural gap is trying to get more people out here. We do a lot of youth groups, corporate team building, and getting people that hands-on experience to maybe have a better appreciation what ranchers and farmers do for the world, actually. So, but I don't want people like, oh, that Brett, that poor farmer, oh my gosh, he's so busy. That's my choice. I decide this. It's her choice to do this. And some days, oh, it might be easier to go live in town and work 9 to 5. Yes, but for my kids is just to jump on a bike and cruise around, pedaling around the farm, or go for a walk in the coulee, or just let's jump on a horse.
Yeah, name all the bottle calves, and they all have their personalities, and like
Yeah.
they know all the cows, and they have their own little cow herds, like just stuff they get to do that. Yeah.
I'm trying to get 4-H to have a seniors.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, so that I can like raise a
So 4-H Alberta, if you're out there should be a senior
first division
where I got mini cows or whatever you want
like
to show.
seniors that have no experience. I don't want to be doing it with seniors that have been farmers.
Whoa.
But just new.
You could do like a senior urban division.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could do
Yes. Any last words, Brett, for you before we sign off of this awesome episode?
that. Time is it?
We're too much time.
Well, I'm sure they can cut lots of stuff out of there.
Yeah, any other thoughts, like working with, like seeing the mental health side of things? I mean, this podcast is actually started about a book, so we usually talk about like the book and themes in the book. But
Well,
So Brett,
like the foreword is wrote by me,
foreword,
and
right?
I've had a lot of feedback saying that's the best part of the book.
Oh gosh.
So thank you for all the people that have reached out to me and say that was amazing foreword.
I just opened it. This is your foreword, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
Something that I'm just opened it. So I want to read that paragraph. Amy and Angie are the subject and stars of this book. Thank you, Brett. But they'd have you think the horses are. Though I'm never involved in the private sessions of others, those are absolutely confidential, nor do I hear any details after. I am regularly voluntold to work with the horses during group work as a horse handler or just generally being part of the team. Correction, I am the team that deals with the messes they've made. Think shit. Or dropping off hay and making sure the water supply does not freeze. So it's funny that I picked that up to read that because, yes, without Brett kind of doing all of the behind the scenes, making sure the horses have enough food. And in the wintertime, the water sometimes freeze and Brett has to get out there and either fix them or whatever. We could not do the work that we do if we were always worried about everything else, right? So
there was a recent story, actually, because we always are like, Brett, do you mind? And he's like, you can get that, sees that look in his face. So he acts really angry and grumpy, but he's not. So the wind was blowing and we were supposed to have riding lessons and the horses were crazy. And there's a piece of tin flap banging on the roof. I'm like, Brett, so do you think sometime we could just like climb up there and like screw that piece in? And he just gave us that look. And then
of heights, I'm not getting up on that.
I hate roofs. And then a little while later it just stopped. And you never say what you do. And you did it, didn't you? And
Or I'll just say, I'm going to die in there if that thing keeps banging around.
Yeah. So we appreciate you.
So appreciate. I just want to tell another just quick story. We had a group a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, before your arse was injured. And we had a group of kids here and we do ultimate bullfighting and the horses. And at the end, the bullfighters put on like a little show for the kids. And, I've seen Brett kind of at work from a distance or on the television or whatever, but This day, his nephew was the bullfighter that was going to get in there and fight the bull. And Brett was up on the fence, and something happened. The barrel rolled, the bullfighter fell, and the bull went after that bullfighter. And I was blown away by the quick reflex that you had off the fence in front of that bull. Like, to me, it was, yes, that was your job and you got in there and saved somebody, but it also gave me comfort that if you were ever around and I was in trouble, that there was no doubt in my mind that you would maybe save me.
But this way, so Angie's a cattle baron during calving time. If she ever gets hooked by a mini, I'd probably let the mini hook her for just a little bit, just to give the cow a little bit of confidence. And but I'd save you eventually.
Well, it just happened. She fell off a sidewalk and you were there like super fast.
Oh, yeah.
Are you okay?
Oh gosh, we should do another episode of all of the. We could do a whole episode.
Spill off of Romeo, and I was busy taking care of your horse, and he takes his hat off, and he's taking care of you, and I'm like, oh my God, get this horse.
I'll get the horse saddle off. We could do a whole other episode of the funny and heartwarming things that have happened with the three of us. And I just want to close by saying, like, I'm so grateful to be here, to have you both as friends, and also to continue to learn from you and feel kind of that confidence of knowing that if anything were to happen, that you're there and you just kind of take care of stuff. So I really appreciate that about you.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to close on what's really helped me, like I say, going back to the mental health, I want to emphasize again is talking with people. Other farmers, ranchers with the lived experience.
Other bullfighters,
other bullfighters that might have, that's what really, when things are like, say, happening and life gets stressful, when I talk to somebody and realize I'm not alone, they've been through it too, that makes me feel a lot better.
Helps for sure.
Yeah.
I think that would be the case with all of us, right? Yeah. And we find out that maybe our experience is not unique.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Awesome. I mean, I don't know how many people got their ass ripped open, but whatever.
I'm sure they're out there.
Actually, now that I say that, I'm like, I actually do. You are not alone.
Yeah.
You are not alone. So, thank you so much for joining us on this episode where it's our first interview. And so, yeah, thank you for volunteering.
Voluntold again.
Voluntolding.
Yeah. We did give him some outs. He's like, I'm like, are you still in? I guess so.
It's funny, before this interview, what time? Okay, you guys got so much time because guess what? I got to go down to the coulee, check fence. I got to vaccinate mini cows, get them the grass. Then list a million other things I need to do.
There's a million things that Brett has got on his list today. Thank you. Please subscribe. I don't know, it's down here or down there. I'm not sure. If you like our podcast, subscribe, comment. If you have any ideas of what you'd like us to talk about, that would be great. Or any comment in general, we would appreciate it. Yeah, and tune in for episode 11. We might have another guest. Who knows?
rafteru7.ca to find out more information what we do here.
All right.
Awesome. Okay, take care. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Mindful Humanship podcast. May the horse always bring you home.